So there's some critics of the hospitalist model in the U.S. and years ago it was common to hear an elder statesman of medicine in the U.S. talk about how the hospitalist model was a bad idea and this was not okay for patients. And in so many cases that if that was a primary care doctor criticizing the hospitalist model, it was common that within a year or two that very same primary care doctor was referring many or all of his or her patients to hospitalists. And hearing them tell this story, it tended to go the same way in many cases. And I should give credit to Bob Wachter, who described this to me the first time. An elder statesman of medicine would say, "I'll never send my patients to hospital, it's a bad idea." And then if you go talk to them 2 years later, you'd say, "Oh, how are the hospitalists doing at your hospital?" And often that doctor would say, "Well, it's a funny thing you bring it up, because you know, a year or so ago my wife and I had tickets to the theater on a Saturday night, and I had a patient that needed to be admitted, so I decided to ask the hospitalist to do the admission so I could go to the theater." And turns out that that went just fine. The patient got good care and was very satisfied and came to see me in the office later. So a few weeks later, on a weekend, the same thing happened. I had plans, a patient needed to be admitted, so I asked the hospitalist about admitting that patient too. And again, it went just fine. And it wasn't long before I was doing it regularly, and now I'm sending all my patients to the hospitalist. And Bob Wachter, who was talking with me about this, said it reminded him of someone who has gotten addicted to a drug or alcohol, that first you do it on the weekends and it's kind of fun and it works well and nothing seems to go wrong, and so you do it more and more often until now you're doing it all the time and there's no going back. So lots of U.S. primary care physicians had the same experience of beginning referrals to hospitalists.